Young, and the Restless weekly update June 9th to 13th. Sharon questions the new Matt Clark. Victor makes a life-changing decision about Matt Clark, but Sharon remains unconvinced that her former tormentor deserves a second chance. As Malcolm returns to Genoa City, Adam quietly keeps watch on the man at the center of it all. The Young and the Restless spoilers weekly update for June 8th to 12th tease that after Victor decides Matt Clark's fate, Sharon questions whether her rapist is really reformed. In the end, Adam keeps tabs on the possibly reformed villain. Plus, Malcolm returns home. Weekly recap. Victor, Eric Braden, found himself negotiating with Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, as their complicated relationship hung in the balance. While Nikki wondered whether they could finally move past their latest conflict, Victor stunned her with an ultimatum that left her furious. Elsewhere, Jack, Peter Bergman, grew increasingly concerned about Diane's, Susan Walters, unexplained absence from Genoa City and even hired a private investigator to ensure she was safe. Meanwhile, Nick, Joshua Morrow, Sharon Case, and Noah, Lucas Adams, put a risky plan into motion when they brought Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, to Noah's recreated shadow room in hopes of triggering his memories. The strategy worked, but not necessarily in the way anyone expected. Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. Victor pushed Nick to confront the reality of both his addiction and the complicated situation involving Matt Clark. After Matt's memories returned, Nick struggled to reconcile the monster he remembered with the remorseful man standing before him. Meanwhile, Adam, Mark Grossman, and Sally, Courtney Hope, shared an emotional conversation about her pregnancy and the daughter they lost together. The discussion reopened old wounds as both reflected on Ava and the future that might have been. Elsewhere, Sharon questioned whether Matt's apparent transformation could truly be trusted as she watched him break down under the weight of his recovered memories and overwhelming guilt. Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Victor and Nick found themselves divided over what should happen to Matt Clark next. While Victor believed caution was necessary, Nick wrestled with whether Matt's remorse was genuine or simply another manipulation. At the same time, Lily, Crystal Khalil, challenged Devin, Brighton James, to focus less on everyone else's mistakes and more on the problems within his own life. Across town, Sienna, Tamara Braun, voiced concerns about Noah's decision to recreate the shadow room as part of his new business venture, fearing the location would always be associated with trauma. Meanwhile, Nate, Sean Dominic, helped Stephanie, Vivica A. Fox, weigh an important decision about her future as she found herself torn between opportunities in Genoa City and responsibilities elsewhere.